Candace Owens is being sued by the President of France for claiming that First Lady Brigitte Macron is in fact a man. She even doubled down, declaring that she would stake her entire professional reputation on it. So I've spent a lot of time debunking conspiracy theories from the far left, from the trans community. The lies, the emotional blackmail, and the bad behavior dressed up as activism. Phrases like trans kids are unaliving themselves and you're erasing our existence are often used as rhetorical weapons to shut down debate. But lately it's become impossible to ignore a disturbing trend on the other side. A growing number of so-called conservative voices pushing their own brand of conspiratorial garbage. As you know, the modern trans movement uses emotional blackmail to silence critics and to recruit more allies, framing any opposition to children transitioning, to men in women's locker rooms, as inherently anti-gay. But now, I'm seeing those same manipulative tactics emerge on the far right. A commentator like Candace Owens is trying to win over conservative supporters by twisting their concern for freedom of speech into a shield for her own reckless behavior.
A president of a foreign country does not sue a mom that does her podcast in her basement because she spoke something that was not true.
And just like the woke activists she criticizes, she loves to play the victim when saying, "I'm just a mom with a podcast in my basement and they're trying to silence me," all while doing something that could very well end her career. Let's get into the lawsuit. In July 2025, French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron filed a 219-page defamation lawsuit against Owens in Delaware. Let's talk about what's actually true. Brigitte Macron, or Brigitte Macron, was born on April 13, 1953 in Amiens, France, the youngest of 6 children in a well-known family that ran a successful chocolate business. She married her first husband in 1974 and had 3 children. She later became a teacher, and that's where she met a teenager, Emmanuel Macron, through the school's teacher program. Yes, Emmanuel was just 15 years old when he met Brigitte for the first time. But when his parents found out that he was in love with his teacher, his parents transferred him to a school in Paris. Years later, in 2007, a year after Brigitte divorced her husband, the father of her children, Emmanuel and Brigitte reconnected, and they actually got married. She was 54, he was 29. And he didn't just become her husband, he became president of France. Then came the conspiracy theories. In March 2021, a little-known independent journalist named Natasha Ray claimed on Facebook that Brigitte Macron was actually a transgender woman who had stolen someone else's identity. That story was echoed by another far-right publication. French courts ruled in 2024 that Natasha and others had defamed Brigitte Macron. So that got overturned later on for appeal, for procedural reasons, not because the claims were true. And despite the debunking, Candace Owens picked up the narrative and just ran with it. Because that's the smart thing to do. Candace has talked non-stop about the Macrons. She even made a t-shirt calling Brigitte Macron Man of the Year. In December 2024, the Macrons sent Candace a legal letter demanding a retraction. Not only did Candace ignore the letter, she launched an 8-part video series titled Becoming Brigitte. And it wasn't just defamatory, it was unhinged.
According to this conspiracy theory, Brigitte Macron is actually Jean-Michel Trudeau, and she's a blood relation of Emmanuel Macron. At some point after his gender transition, Jean-Michel stole his sister's identity and began living as Brigitte. Jean-Michel, as 40-year-old Brigitte, then seduced 14-year-old Emmanuel Macron. She apparently seduced Emmanuel because she was grooming him on behalf of a global cabal of pedophile elites who wanted a Manchurian candidate they could control. These elites included the powerful Jewish Rothschild family, who also, according to Owens, practice incest and have a close connection to Emmanuel Macron. She also apparently used mind control, possibly in the form of psychedelics like the US government's experimental MK Ultra program.
At every turn, Candace amplified the wildest accusations without evidence, all while being warned multiple times to stop. In July 2025, right before the lawsuit, the Macrons sent another legal demand, and Owens said,
"People are tired of this. We are revolting against this. We're revolting against the perverts that run the world." And I want to be very clear here. I count you among them. I think you're sick. I think you're disgusting. I am fully prepared to take on this battle. On behalf of the entire world, I will see you in court.
So the Macron's lawsuit accuses her of knowingly spreading lies for fame and money. And under the US defamation law, the Macrons has to prove actual malice, as it's called. That she either knew the claims were false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. And the evidence? Brigitte Macron has a birth certificate, a documented childhood, and decades of public records. She and her brother, Jean-Michel Trudeau, have appeared together at events. They have separate voting records, tax filings, and legal documents. They're clearly two different people. But Candace was shown this evidence. She didn't care. The way I look at it, Candace Owens knows that controversy pays. Way back in the day, Candace was a liberal, she was a leftist, and she worked for a very leftist magazine, making fun of Trump's penis and stuff. And she even proposed a public shaming website called Social Autopsy. When that project got backlash, she reinvented herself as a conservative, as a Trump supporter. She found an audience, but to keep that audience, she felt like she had to go bigger, bolder, and weirder into territory like fake moon landing, and now transgender first ladies under CIA mind control. And the thing is, she didn't just repeat the theory. She branded it and she monetized it. What's most disturbing about this case is not that some weird woman on the internet is claiming that a world leader's wife is actually transgender, a man. It is about accusing a world leader's wife of being a PDF file. Not an actual PDF file, but a word I don't think I can say here on YouTube. So just imagine I'm saying another word. Accusing someone of being a predator, a PDF file, of stealing someone else's identity are some of the most damaging claims you can make. And in US law, false accusation about essay, PDF file, acts are considered defamation per se. So that means that the harm is automatic. You don't need to prove damages, just the accusation is enough. The way conspiracy theorists operate is that if you present facts, they will say it's a part of a cover-up. And if you sue them, they will say, oh, that means I'm right. So no matter what you say or don't say, do or don't do, these people, the conspiracy theorists, will lie. They will lie their asses off. That's essentially what this is all about. And the real victim here is not Candace Owens. Wow, it's so sad that some people think so. It's Brigitte Macron. She's a public figure, yes, but so is Candace. Brigitte is the one being accused of the most horrendous things. She's being framed as a PDF file, as a predator, as a fraud, and as a puppet for the global elite. That's not just criticism, that's character assassination. Look, however you want to feel about this, the law's the law. And it's illegal. Defamation is illegal. So you can think that's a stupid thing all you want. It's still illegal, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen to Candace Owens. I hope with all of my heart that Candace Owens will experience consequences. I hope she gets canceled. And that's not something I hope for most people. But Candace is harmful. She is constantly lying about not just individuals like Brigitte. She's lying about Judaism, Jewish people, Israel, and the amount of misinformation she spreads. Again, I don't say this lightly, can be dangerous. And it should not be allowed here on YouTube. And don't you worry, I'm going to talk more about her conspiracy theories about Israel, about Jews. Let's save that for another day.
You were born a man and you will die a man. That's the point I'm making. So give us a sample. I'll send my doctors to take your blood.
You're completely missing the point. It's called the burden of proof. When someone makes a wild claim about you, you're not the one who have to debunk it. They have to prove it. That's how logic and fairness work. Brigitte Macron does not have to debunk conspiracy theories about her. The conspiracy theorists have to prove why they're right, which is going to be really hard because they're not right. They're just being stupid and bored. In my opinion, I think Candace Owens is a grifter. I don't think she's on any side. I think she knows how to memorize certain talking points, cultural war arguments of whatever community she's currently in. But I just don't think she's an honest person. I mean, you can tell how nasty she gets towards the people from her own community, political community. And I think that says it all. I do not believe that Brigitte Macron is trans. I think she's a woman. She looks like a woman. Oh, she's wearing a wig? Oh no, women can't wear wigs. Oh, she looks like her brother? Right, siblings don't look alike. I don't believe in any of the evidence I've seen. They don't even make sense to me. I have watched the Becoming Brigitte series, and I got so confused. That series made me so effing confused. The goal is to confuse you, because they're not right about what they say. That's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about this case. I'm so excited to hear from all of you. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. I love you all and I cannot wait to read your comments down below. Peace out.